Today about a crisis in retention of women throughout the profession, and Nemone is the antidote to that crisis. There is perhaps nobody who has had more staying power than her. She is a woman of true grit, and she is a woman of, in an overused word, true inspiration. I think, like me, you will stand taller and breathe more deeply after you've listened to her. Nemone was born in 1932, and we're going to pick things up when she went to Somerville College, Oxford, to read law. Nemone, tell us, was this a good preparation for life at the bar?
In no way. It was enormous fun, but we spent the whole of the first year doing Roman law, mostly in Latin. So I could tell you how to manumit a slave, but I couldn't tell you how to defend a shoplifter.
So you got doc briefs, you went out on circuit, but there came a time when you got a bit of a break. Now, how did that happen?
I got a break because I was instructed by a firm where the senior partner, who did all his own advocacy in the week, was Orthodox Jew, and he couldn't go to court on Saturday. So he used to send me to court on his behalf. And so I did get some work from this firm, and he had a lot of work in the East End, which was useful.
And that was how, we're not going to talk about them too much because we're here to talk about the women doing the work, but you had some particular clients that you came across that way, and just touch on them briefly.
Oh, they were called the Kray brothers. And they used to get arrested every Friday evening by a very vigorous young PC in the East End. And so every Saturday morning they would appear at Arbor Square Magistrates Court, and there I would be, making myself busy. And I thought I was really the cat's whiskers, because I got wonderful results for them. I didn't think it had anything to do with the large men standing in the back of the court looking rather menacing. So it was a good way to build up a practice.
I've got this scrapbook, and there's a newspaper cutting of you at the age of 24 in the Criminal Court of Appeal. Can you tell us anything about that?
Well, I didn't remember the case until you showed me the cutting.
There, 24, you're in the Court of Appeal, just not terribly memorable, really.
I now remember it was a firearms case, again from the East End, so I guess it must have been the Kray connection, because they did recommend me to their mates. I hasten to add that I didn't get them there 30 years. That was somebody else.
I want to move forward a little bit. There came a time when you had to leave the bar, and we're not going to talk about that too much, but it came about as a result of the man you fell in love with and chose to marry, who was a chap of some notoriety as a result of being a convicted murderer. And that was fine with your chambers, as I understand it, while the matter was secret. But then there came a time when it became public. And what happened then with your chambers as a result?
When it became public, I was very embarrassed. And I was particularly upset on behalf of my mother. So I took her off to Greece to escape the press. And she and I went to Greece and for 6 weeks. This was the time of the Bay of Pigs. I'll never forget it. So we came back and looked at the newspapers and realised the world had nearly come to an end during our absence, and we'd known nothing about it. But anyway, when I got back to London, my name had been removed from the door of Chambers. And the head of Chambers at that time was the Solicitor General. And he wrote me a short letter saying, we don't have to go into the reasons for this, but you'll understand that you're no longer a suitable member of Chambers. And so I had to leave, and it took me 18 years to get back to the bar.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please join our Facebook group. It's called Krays Crime Lords of London. We're a friendly moderated group with over 1,000 Kray and other celebrated gangster videos available for view. There's also thousands of images in the photos sections. The link for the group is in the YouTube description section. I hope we see you there.